everybody. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. It's good to see you. You guys know how I like to start off. Where are you guys at? What city are you repping? Where are you? What city are you sat? Are you over? Where are you sitting? Where are you satin? With, you know, the old folks used to say, set that down, set that down. Where are you? How are you guys, Chaz? I am great. God is good. I'm good. You know what? Big shout out to God. Thank you, Jesus. Big shout out to the Lord. Hey, Linford, good to see you on here. We got a few folks just chiming in, and I am so glad. What city are you repping? You know, we like to make your city matter. What city are you repping? So while you guys are letting me know where you are, I want to go ahead and get started with some of the news clippings that I found on. How was your weekend? It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Is that my Evelyn Ferguson? I see Evelyn Ferguson. Big shout out to everybody that's tuned in on the website. Those who are tuned in from the 8 Squad Rebel Radio Facebook page. Those who are tuned in from on my Facebook Live. Big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to my girl, Deb. Hi, Deb. Hi, Malik. I see you. So let me tell you guys something. How was your day? What city is everybody in? You guys know I like to make your city matter. So what city are you in? Where are you guys right now? Are you in Jersey? Are you in Texas? Are you in Cali? Those are states. If my partner was here right now, he would have said, you just asked everybody what city are they in, and you over there naming states. So what city and state are you repping? Big shout out to Lance in his absence. Big shout out to the homie. Yeah, big shout out to him. Big shout out. So, North Macaroons have that. Where is that? Is that in the U.S.? Minister Lewis Dixon, good to see you. Where you repping, Minister Lou? How are you? What city are you in? Hey, sweet thing, my beautiful sister. It's been a long time. How are you? Big shout out to everybody that's on the check-in right now, that's on Facebook Live. You guys are coming in by the numbers, and I am super excited to see you guys on here. I hope you guys had an incredible week. So, can I ask a question? You're in Garner, North Carolina. That's what's up. Hi, PT. I see you. Happy Thursday. And so, hey, I see you, Zuleika. What's going on, Suzu? It's good to see you. So, wait a minute. What in the world is going on? So, I got to pull this out. Did you guys hear about the white woman who called the cops on a black Yale student? What is going on? Have we really gotten to this place where... Now, let me just say this. When I moved from the Bronx, right? I moved from the Bronx and I lived in Old Bridge. Old Bridge at the time that I moved was a predominantly white area. Did I have issues? I can count on one hand how many issues I had. Good to see you. Big shout out to Lithonia, Georgia. Yes. So, here's my thing. We all know that racism exists. We can't run from it. It's there. It's obvious. But when it gets to the point, and am I wrong? Let me tell you what I said to somebody on a Facebook page. I had said to somebody, as much, and is the word prevalent? Is that the word I want to use? As visible as racism is, racism has, and if I'm wrong, I need you guys to check me and tell me that I'm wrong. Racism has magnified and exploded since Trump has gotten into office. Now, if you don't want to agree with me, big shout out to you. You don't have to. I don't expect you to agree with me on that. But the one thing that I do believe is that racism has caused Trump, with his behavior, has allowed people of all races to really put black people in a position where it's like, you got to look over your shoulder, look over your neck. I mean, here's the deal. This Yale student, if I stand corrected, was taking a nap. Okay, so let me see if I could give you guys the full story. A black graduate student at Yale University who fell asleep. Check this out. A black graduate student at Yale University who fell asleep in the common room of her dormitory this week was confronted by police officers asking whether she belonged at the university after a white student called 911 to report her. You have got to be kidding me. This 34-year-old said she took a nap late while working on a marathon of papers in the common room And it says that a white graduate student who spotted her in the area then called police to report an unauthorized person, prompting several police officers to show up and demand this young lady's ID. You're in a Yale building, and they said, I guess this is what they're saying, you're in a Yale building, and we need to make sure that you belong here. I'm so sick. I'm sick. So I guess that means that that if you're black, you don't belong in Yale. Is that what I'm reading? Am I reading into this thing wrong? Am I reading too much into it? Yeah. So anyway, I have a big issue with that. Racism has totally magnified, and I want to honestly say you can thank Donald Trump for that. So entertainment. Check this out. Spotify is hey Jay, I see you on here. Spotify may finally be getting R. Kelly may finally be getting ejected out of the paint after all. Shout has announced that it will be removing R. Kelly's music from its playlist. Big shout out to Spotify. Big shout out to Spotify. Big shout out to Spotify. And I know you're probably like, why would you shout out Spotify for something like that? Why? Because R. Kelly has gotten away with way too much. If you guys really believe that R. Kelly, Tim Clinton, yes sir. Big shout out to Tim Clinton, who just chimed in and just jumped on. If you think for one moment that R. Kelly, some people are just narcissistic. They do what they do. They feel that they can get away with doing what they do because of who they are, and it sickens me. How many people have complained about R. Kelly? How many people have accused him? How many people have said this is what he has done, this is what he is doing, and nothing has happened? So, at the end of the day, I'm glad Spotify's removing his music. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm glad. R. Kelly is a non-factor to me. So at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is. Yeah, what's going on, Minister Darlene? I see you. Steph, good to see you. So wait, I have something else to tell you. So this isn't funny. I shouldn't laugh at this. It's not funny. A 95-year-old woman, tried to put her granddaughter in check, and I'm trying to see if this was appropriate. She tried to put her granddaughter in check, and she ended up smacking her in the face with a slipper because allegedly she was hogging up the air conditioning. What kind of foolishness is that? It says that Daytona Beach police officers arrested a 95-year-old woman after she got into an argument with her granddaughter and slapped her in the face with a slipper. Let me tell you something. Can I be honest with you? I have been smacked, whipped, I've been beaten, I've been bruised. Rose, my mother, my dad, I was one of those dumb children that tried to catch the belt when I knew I did something wrong and I was getting tore up. And at the end of the day, I called DYFS one good time, and I bet you that was the last time I ever called DYFS. I'll let my mom tell you guys the story. But for the most part, all of that calling the police when I get whooped, and that's probably why I don't have any kids now, because I can tell you, I'm not trying to be funny. If my kid gets out of hand, the cops will probably be knocking on my door every other week. I'm not trying to be funny with you guys. Whatever happened to get hit in the face with a slipper, I think that's kind of too much. But you have some people that have been hit and beat with worse, so we won't deal with that today, because then I'll probably get myself in a whole lot of trouble. Anyway, we're going to talk about tonight. We had the Mother's Day giveaway. Yes, wrong one. Did you guys go ahead and go to the website? If you missed it, cutoff is a wrap. The Making Me Matter, www.makingmematter.com. And so we're doing a Mother's Day giveaway, and I am so super excited. You guys know I love giveaways, so we're going to be doing that later on during the break. And I have something to share with you guys. I want to tell you guys something, right? There's something that I want to call what's the matter of the day, and there's a young lady who I want to shout out. Her name is Kalima. I met Kalima about a year ago when I was asked to host an event, and so during this time, was it hosting? Yeah, I was asked to host this event, and during this time, I met this amazing woman named Kalima, and her name is Kalima Dobson, and I wanted to make sure that we just give her a big shout out. I want to make her the matter of the day today, because she matters. This is a young woman who is on her way to graduating from college. When I tell you that's a big deal, you don't know what people go through to stay in school. Let me tell you something. A lot of people have no idea. I have no degree. God has blessed me with jobs on top of jobs on top of jobs that have been incredible. God has blessed me to be around people with multiple degrees. God has put me in a position to be around politicians and people that are of certain esteem. And I have no degree. I've tried to go back and forth to school, and you know what? Let me tell you something. I commend her. Big salute to her. Because school just was not for me. Now, do I want to go back to school now? Absolutely. There's something in me that says I need to try to make my way back to school, but now I need to try to make the time to do it. There's too much on my plate. But I want a big shout out to Kalima. If you guys know her, let her know that the Make Me Matter radio show made her the matter of the day, because she is getting ready to graduate. And then I did something called a couple of months ago on one of my Facebook lives and talked about soaring. And SOAR stands for starting over again right. When you feel lost, the only way to climb back up is to soar, and that means to start over again right. And she says to me, and I posted it on my page, she says to me, my graduation is approaching real soon, and guess what I have on my cap? I said, congratulations, what you got on your cap? And she said, soar. That went right through me. And so that also goes to show the power that we have to encourage somebody. The slightest word that we have can uplift someone or change their mind and go in a different direction. And she had said, I'm so grateful that God is always using you. And I responded to her and said, I'm so honored. You know, it's just, all I can do is just give God the praise, because she's doing a lot. She's doing something that most people have not done, desire to do, and they just won't. So big shout out to my girl, Kalima Dobson. So here's another thing, you guys. I want to tell you guys the topic of the night. The topic of tonight is peel off the scabs, and Lance came up with that topic. Peel off the scabs. We are going to be dealing with pain tonight. I'm going to be talking about pain. Is counseling really needed? Should you do counseling? The ups and downs of counseling, and so forth. Oh yeah, Stephanie, big shout out to you. Stephanie just said, starting over again right is going on my cap as well. Yes, don't listen, Stephanie, you're not going to take me out of what I'm supposed to be doing. You're going to get Lance to come down here and just get me. Because it's important that we recognize that we have more power in us. And the power that we have in us to go ahead and do the things that we didn't think we can do. Listen, God has a way of just whispering those sweet things in your ear, saying, baby, keep going. Baby, you got this. You can do this. You have the victory. You can do all things, because I am the one that will strengthen you to go forward. So big shout out to you too, Stephanie. I can't wait to see the picture of SOAR on your cap as well. Yeah, Sean, I know pain too. I know pain too. I know a lot of people that know pain, you know. And so at the end of the day, let me tell you something. We all are in this thing together. We are all here to help each other. And what we are going to do is find out collectively what we can do to peel off the scab. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes some people pick at a scab and it doesn't heal. Some scab, some scabs need to stay on so they heal correctly. So, hey, Auntie, big shout out to my Aunt Charlize that just tuned in. Yes, I see Rashawn on here, Sean Jenko. I'm so grateful that you guys took the time out of your busy day to tune in tonight to deal with peeling off scabs. I'm going to do tonight's segment. Lance is going to do next week. I want to get your feedback. I want you guys to tell me about your transition when it came down to dealing with counseling. If you agree with counseling, a lot of people, believe it or not, do not agree with counseling. They think counseling is foolish. A lot of people are against medication. You have people that don't believe that counseling is worth it. Then there's people that think counseling is too expensive. So I want to talk about all of that. But before I even do that, I want to give a crazy shout out to my girl, Charlene Holt, who is advertising with us. Yes, Travel with Char. If you guys have a planning on, I don't know if anyone's getting married anytime soon, but if you're getting married, have an anniversary, if you just want to have a girls trip or even a fellas trip, if you just want to do luxury travel and travel across the world, some people don't travel, and this is something that they want to learn how to do. Get up with my girl Charlene, and if you go on my Making Me Matter radio show page, you'll see where her information is on there. Her Facebook page is called Travel with Char, Char. I have some right now who is working with her to book a flight for 2 people to Johannesburg. She just did something for, I think, like 4 people or a family that went to Punta Cana. So you guys get in touch with her. She's incredible. I've known this girl for 20 years. So I want you guys to make sure that you tune in to her, what she's got going on. Make sure you guys share this video. If you can, go to the 8 Squad Rebel radio page, share that video as well. Auntie, you said sometimes you just need to let it heal. Right. Healing comes from the inside, not the picking it off. You better go ahead. But that's the truth. And I promise you, that's why I was saying, you know what? The peeling off of the scab can sometimes leave a mark. And listen, I don't know if you guys probably can't tell, right? Excuse me. When I was in the 10th grade, I had the chicken pox all up here. And you know what? I used to always hear, don't pick it, leave it alone. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, but it itches, what am I gonna do? And you know what? I ended up putting vitamin E ointment, vitamin E pills, and just doing all this stuff. And you know what ended up happening? I did not pick the scab. I did not peel that scab. And what ended up happening was they healed. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, God, I thank the Lord. So I wanted to get you guys out there to let you guys know what we're talking about tonight, peeling off the scab. I wanted to make sure that you guys were able to go ahead and represent your city. We went ahead and gave a big shout out to my girl Kalima Dobson. She is the one who matters. She is our matter for the day. And we went ahead and we talked about our girl Charlene. And I want you guys to make sure that you stay tuned in, because we're doing a Mother's Day giveaway today. Listen, do you guys like giveaways? You know, the Making Me Matter radio show is known for doing giveaways because we live to give. Giving is part of who we are. And God has given us so much that we just want to go ahead and be a blessing and give out just as much. So make sure you guys stay around. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break and get into some music real quick. Just one quick song, maybe 2. I'll let you guys rock out the 2 songs. And then we're going to jump on back and get ourselves going. So in the meantime, Bishop Curtis Douglas, good to see you, sir. How are you? God bless you. Yeah, Sean, wait a second. Sean Janko said, I hate counseling. If you ain't been through it, don't speak to me about how to deal. See, and I'm not trying to be funny. I can respect that. I can respect what you're saying. I can respect that you said, I hate counseling. Counseling, you know, some people just do not like it. Everyone handles counseling different. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was married, well, not when I was married, but when I lost my late husband, I didn't do counseling right away. I was asked the day of the funeral if I was going to need medication, and you know what my response was? My response at that time was, I don't want medication because I want to know what this feeling is like. I want to be able to understand my emotions, and I don't want to come back to a place of, did I say that? I don't know why I did this, or I don't know. And I wasn't used to taking medication like that. So I just said, I'll pass. Guess what? I ended up getting counseling later. And getting the counseling later, I should have gotten counseling for a whole lot of stuff a long time ago. And so I want to go ahead and just let y'all know that I want you guys to stay tuned. I want you to encourage someone, because I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about counseling. I'm curious to see if you guys would do it. Has anyone else on here besides Sean tried counseling? I'm just curious. If you guys have done counseling before, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I want to make sure that I read the comments as to what you think about counseling. Would you do it? Would you recommend it? Does it cost too much? Is it something that's overrated? And I'm about to say something else. Is it overrated? And I say that because This particular race here, we are known to keep stuff under wraps. We're known to not discuss things. We're known to not discuss issues and not to talk about matters outside of the home. And so I want to see if that is your case as well, where you don't talk about the issues because you were raised that what happens in the house stays in the house. What happens between you and your mother or your father stays between you guys, and you do not discuss it. And you guys get through it together as a family. But the question is, do you really actually get through it as a family? Or is it something that's just has a Band-Aid over it and gets absolutely nowhere, and the bruise just keeps going? It stays there and it's never healed because it's not being dealt with. Big shout out to you, Darius from Dallas, Texas. Yes! They do everything big in Texas. You know I love me some Texas. Man, I lived in Dallas for 6 years. There's only a couple, literally only 3 reasons why I'm not moving back to Dallas right now. Only 3. But when I tell you, Dallas is my favorite place in the U.S. Dallas is my favorite place. I used to go to, if anybody has never been to Dallas, please go get you some soul food at Sweet Georgia Brown's. Please go get you some soul food at Sweet Georgia Brown's. Go to Meat Casinas and get you some good food. That Tex-Mex is on point. Mi Casino would have this. My girlfriend and I would always get the Veracruz, and it was fish and over rice. But the best place in Dallas outside of soul food is Papa Do's. Yes, indeedy. Jay, you said I don't like talking to anyone. Oh, I gotta open yours up. You said I don't like talking to anyone unless I sought out God's perspective first and then ask him to send me the proper counsel. See, that's smart. But not everybody has a relationship with God, so they wouldn't even know to consult him first. So we even have to pray for that God just does what he does. God send people. Those who don't know how to pray, God let your spirit just touch someone to feel like they feel comfortable enough to come to you to say, send me the right person. Because some people don't even feel comfortable talking to God because they live a life feeling guilty. South Dallas Cafe, you know what? I did not like South Dallas Cafe. I'm big on yams, and when I had those yams one day, the yams were stringy. I said I'll never come back. And I never did. I'm one of those, I gotta either love it or I hate it. There's no in between with me, And so I want to go ahead and give you guys a little chance to rock out to some music. Who's ready to rock out to some music? And then I'm going to come back, and then we're going to jam. We're going to have like 1 or maybe 2 songs, and then we'll be back. You make sure you tell everybody to stay tuned to the Making Me Mad radio show, because when we deal with this counseling stuff, it's about to get real. Don't go anywhere.
8 Squad Rebel Radio.
The most talked about internet radio station in the land.
DJ Shabu. Let a day go by without saying how much I really thank you for the things you've done and for every one of your blessings in my life. You brought joy from the pain, sunshine from the rain. I'm a living testimony.
DJ Shaw Boogie.
yes. What's going on, everybody? So, all right. Big shout out to my girl Travel with Char, my girl Charlene. Anybody who is interested in booking their travel, I want you guys to connect with her. So listen, here's the deal. So tonight I wanted to talk about a great topic that Lance came up with called peeling off the scabs. Where's Zuzu at? Zuzu, you ready? You gonna be able to join me? I'm gonna try to go ahead and get you on here so that everybody can hear you and see you. So we want to talk about counseling. If you have ever been hurt, if you have ever gone through anything traumatic, if you have ever been someone who has just hi sweetheart, I see you, D. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. If you have ever been one who has experienced trauma, some people do not want to do counseling. Tonight's topic is called Peel Off the Scabs. Big shout out to my partner in his absence. Yeah. And so here's the thing. I wanted you guys to hear something that I found, right? 10 reasons why people refuse to talk to therapists. Oh my gosh. Has that been your story? Have you been one who just does not do counseling or does not do therapy? You are there? Okay, good. I'm getting ready to bring you in, and what I'm going to do also is just read these real quick. So 10 reasons, and you got to tell me if you agree. 10 reasons why people refuse to talk to therapists. 1, they said, I'd rather talk to my friends. 2, it costs too much. Counseling ain't cheap. Now that's the truth. 3, I don't have time. 4, I saw a psychologist once and it didn't help. Maybe because the person might have needed a psychiatrist instead of a psychologist. But they said, I saw a psychologist once and it didn't help. The other one, this other number 5 says, what good is talking going to do? Number 6 says, I'd feel weird talking about this stuff to a stranger. Number 7, therapists don't say anything. They just sit there and judge you. Number 8, therapists don't really care about you. They do it for the money. And number 9 says, if I was depressed and I wanted to feel better, I'd just take Prozac. Well, we know what that. Anyway, number 10 is I wouldn't want to air my dirty laundry out in public. So that's some of the reasons why people do not want to get counseling. I'm going to get my girl Zuzu on here. Hold on one second. And I'm hoping that they'll be able to hear you. Let me see where you at. I'm hitting you up, Zoo. I'm hitting you up, Zoo. I'm hitting you up. I'm hitting you up. Can you see me calling? We're going to go ahead and try to get her on, and we can talk about the different levels of counseling. And then, hey, with your pretty face. How are you? It is so good to see you.
Likewise, how you doing?
I am fantastic. Oh my gosh, I feel like crying. It's so good to see you. Man, you look amazing. Look.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
So do you.
Give me a high five. We doing this thing together, aren't we? Yes. So do me a favor. Tell everybody that's watching. You said that you used to do counseling. What kind of counseling did you do?
I did counseling for about 10 years, mental health counseling, and a lot of that comes with trauma. So you said trauma, I was like, I'm here.
Yeah, that mental health counseling is it's a doozy. And you know why? Because, and let me know if you think I'm wrong for saying this. Am I wrong for saying because people don't want to admit that they have that word mental health issues? Is the word mental health like as bad as, it's almost like saying someone has AIDS, and no shade to anyone that has AIDS, but you would think that they have been plagued with something the moment you hear the word mental health. And mental health issues that's not a plague.
No, it's taboo because if there's something wrong with your head and we can't see it, you're acting a fool. So no one wants to admit there's something wrong with their head, whether they're hearing voices or depressed and they can't snap out. So all those myths that you talked about,
right?
I'm gonna say I agree with about 9 of them.
Really?
About 9 of them, because they cost too much.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have the time.
Yeah. Can you still hear? You can't hear?
Laundry.
On the live. Should she call in? Okay. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
Okay, we're just getting ourselves together so that everybody can hear you. I'm like, okay, say something. Oh, I can't hear it. I couldn't hear you. Say something else. But I see your pretty face. Say hello, 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 hello. You know what, Zay? Should I just have her call in? Okay, tell you what. Do me a favor. Get off the live and just call in. And I'm gonna the number is 973 536 2707. Yep, 973 536 2707.
You got it.
Bet. See you in a second. Oh, hey, Shay. I see you on here, Shay Smith. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Where are you located, Shay? It's good to see you on here. So we're going to have her call in. We're going to have Zuzu call back in because she used to do counseling. And I think it's going to be absolutely incredible to hear what she has to say in regard to why people don't do counseling and what can we do to start getting people to come out and get the counseling that they need. So until she calls, I want to also read something that I wanted to share with you as well. So check this out. 8 signs that you should see a therapist, because denial is real. And so we will walk around as if nothing is wrong. I don't need to speak to anybody. I don't need to see a counselor, when the majority of the people walking and living do. Z, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Mental health. You said that you've done mental health for
10 years.
For 10 years.
Working with families.
Okay.
And there's trauma.
Ah.
And some of the myths I'd have to agree with. Many people don't want to air their dirty laundry, particularly to a stranger. You know, mental health is in the same realm as physical health, where your information is private.
Okay.
Your only information that's released is to your supervisor to discuss how to help, how to make things better, or how to get better help for that individual. It can be costly, but it depends on your insurance.
Right.
But the benefits of talking to someone, and that's a psychologist or a counselor or a licensed social worker, they're coming from a different standpoint. They're not your girlfriend, and they're dealing with the information that you're giving them. So
right.
One of the myths where therapists don't say anything, part of that is they're listening. They're listening, they're watching your nuances. They want to know, are you giving me shifty information?
Right.
Is this all the information? And more so, I don't want to be rude and cut you off while you're talking.
Right.
So let me listen.
Right. Right. And so
that's a big part of the whole counseling piece.
Okay. And so let me ask you a question. You said that you think that some of these 10 reasons are true. You do believe that some... Okay. And is it because of... Do you think that... Okay, you know how the part where they had mentioned that people don't want to talk to a stranger? Wouldn't it be easier, or unless... Maybe it's me... But wouldn't it be easier sometimes to just vent to someone who knows nothing about you, because you can't be biased? They can't be biased. They wouldn't know anything about your past. They can't judge you based on who you were. And, you know, because some people don't let go of who you were when they see who you are. So is it possible that... Why don't people feel comfortable talking to a stranger? Why do they feel worse? Or why do they feel like they can't talk to a stranger?
Well, big part of it is they don't know me. So I may say something and they're going to judge me based on those 2 sentences alone. And I feel when you're talking to a complete stranger, you can build what you want to say. And I'm not trying to jade it one way or the other, but you can say, I feel victimized because, you know, he stole my cookies, and I'm making very light of it. You know, I feel insulted because he didn't say please and thank you. Someone else may say, you know what, shut up and get over it. Someone else may say, well, go on. Why is that? Within, it's happened before. Someone, you know, insulted me before. Someone made me feel less than before. This is coming up because of this whole situation. But a friend may say, "Girl, get over yourself. Calm down. Cut the nonsense."
Right.
Independent, objective person is going to say, "I'm going to keep listening because there's more there."
Yeah.
There's more patience with a counselor. I've noticed.
I agree. And listen, I know people that will cut people off if you keep talking about the same thing. And, and they're like, why haven't you gotten over this yet? Why are you still dealing with this? And people don't understand. Things take time to heal. My partner was talking about, he came up with this title called Peel Off the Scabs. And that kind of meant a lot to me because I'm like, huh. And I said, and it wasn't until tonight as I was talking, I'm like, well, dang. If you peel off the scab, it's going to leave a mark. But don't they tell you normally if you have a scab to leave the scab on so that it could heal? And I was giving the example like you were on when I was giving the example of the chicken pox. My mother kept saying, don't touch your face. Don't pick it. Stop picking your skin. And then next thing you know it, what ended up happening, I said, okay, fine. And I would just, every time it itched, I just OD'd with vitamin E ointment. And I know it was crazy. And then next thing you know, it all went away. So is it beneficial to leave the scab on, or is it also beneficial to leave the scab off? What do people need to do?
It depends on the scenario. For each person, how they heal is different. Because I may pick up the scab, be fine with the wound, and know it's going to heal differently.
Okay.
Other people may go for the scab and go, oh man, I made it worse. So it depends on the scenario what we're looking at. If we're looking at some serious trauma, I'm talking like about a rape,
okay,
a murder. Not every therapist is aligned to do that. You want to make sure that you have the right person to do it.
Okay.
And you want to make sure you're comfortable talking to this person.
Okay.
It's difficult for a woman to look at a man and talk about I was sexually assaulted. That's really, not saying it's impossible, but it's really hard. So you want to take it down a few notches and talk about how you feel victimized because my mom threw me out.
Right.
Once again, it may come down to you brought it on yourself. I don't feel connected until you do first.
Right.
Or what's really going on. So it depends on where we're at in terms of healing that wound. Are you ready to heal the wound? Because as you know, picking up a scab, it hurts.
Woo!
Going into talking about things that you're not comfortable with, it hurts. It makes you squeamish.
Right.
So it depends on the person and the scenario.
Right. It does make you squeamish. Not everybody wants to talk about their situation. And that whole piece about it's my fault, listen, I get it. I so get it. Oh, Z, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, one of my friends came on and said, we can't hear. Jay, it might just be you that can't hear. No, because I could hear you. It might just be his phone. I'm about to come for him real quick. Jay, it's you. He know I stay coming for him. But so if everybody can hear me, let me know if you guys can hear me, because Jay just said he couldn't hear. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the best coping mechanism for someone who does not want to deal with counseling because they're too ashamed, but yet they don't want to talk to their friends either because they're still too ashamed? How do you deal with that? What do you do in that situation?
That's a great question. There's a level of anonymity. You can always call one of these. I know New Jersey, it escapes me right now. There's a 888 number that's called a warm line, where you can call, talk about your issues, and once again, it's objective. It's in everybody's budget. It's free. You can see where you're coming from. Another one that's also available, I know it's in Jersey, it's called Contact. That's another number that it's free, it's local, and you're not harping for 15 minutes. Maybe it doesn't need 5 to 10 minutes, and then they'll route you to someone else.
Okay.
But at least you get your toe in the door to see, can I do this talking thing? Am I being irrational with my thoughts?
Right.
A lot of times you'll get the services you need, as long as, and this is a disclaimer, as long as you're not calling a hotline saying I'm suicidal or homicidal, police are not going to show up at your door.
Now see,
put that out there. If it's I'm sorry.
That sounds like a crazy thing to me, though, because I think regardless what the situation is, you don't know if it can get to that point of being suicidal, so the police should still show up, right?
Well, the police will show up only in an event if there's a potential harm to someone on the phone or someone in the house. Meaning, I hear there's someone going to get hurt, so therefore that's when they show up. But if I'm just calling to say I'm really sad about my cat and or I'm really depressed about my recent lost one that's dearly departed, they're going to just say, these feelings are rational. But once it gets to the point where, they're really having these dark thoughts, or you're concerned that harm is imminent, then
Right.
it will show up.
Right. Okay. So let me ask you another question. For someone who, I wish my buddy Sean was still on, because
You know what? Someone else is saying they can't hear me.
Right.
Marie say she can't hear me.
Yeah, my
Uh-oh.
auntie Marie just said that she can't hear you. And Jay just texted me. He said, "Move closer to the mic." No, it's not me to the mic. It's the phone. Right.
Oh man.
Right.
Wow.
But the output, yeah, he's saying that he can't hear from the phone, but that's so. Oh yeah, that's what they need to do. Go to www.8squadrebelradio.com. You guys can hear everything through the website and the 8 Squad Rebel Radio Facebook page. And that's what you guys need to do. Guys, go to the 8 Squad Rebel Radio.com or go to the 8 Squad Rebel Radio page. If you guys haven't seen it, the 8 Squad Rebel Radio page is shared on my Facebook page. So, and you'll see that because that's the studio. You'll see Zay's head right now. No, Zay, bring your head back. It's okay. Everybody want to see the head. Everyone loves Zay. So they'll be able to still hear. But for the most part, I have a friend right now that was on. He just said, "I hate counseling." And then he was very adamant about his choice. And then he clearly said, if you haven't been where I've been, don't say nothing. And I said, You know what? You have a very legitimate reason to feel like that. A very, you can't. Because as much as somebody can say, you do agree. What are your thoughts when you hear people say things like that?
You know what? Part of it is understanding that it's your experience. I'm not trying to take it from you, but if you're talking to me about living in a foreign country and I've never lived there,
right?
I can't relate. I can't sympathize, and I'm just going to yes you to death. So to have that relationship of a little bit of the experience. Sometimes you may not need the experience, but at least the knowledge of, yes, I've been there. I haven't lived there 6 months, but I've been there for 2 weeks. Yes, I'm familiar with that. Well, go on. That's where the rapport building begins, because if I can't trust you, I'm not telling you anything further.
See, that's it. And maybe his trust has been betrayed. There's
also another thing, too. There's some counselors, and this is where the money piece comes in, they drag out the treatment piece. An assessment can only be, I want to say you can do an assessment as long as possible. It could be 3 sessions, it could be 6 sessions. But if I'm going in someplace, I want to know what's going on. You're going to tell me today, I want to learn about you.
Right.
Okay, let me tell you about me. I'm going to learn about you. Next time we come in, tell me how your week went, and now we can really get to nuts and bolts. So I know within 3 sections something's happening.
Right.
If I'm going to see a counselor for 6 months and I'm still hitting a brick wall, I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm feeling like that I'm pouring money into a toilet, so to speak.
Right.
However, there's different types of counseling styles. There's there's the Freudian one where people go, yes, yes,
right.
And you're not getting anything back.
Right.
And eventually it goes back into, those things we learned in school, psychology class, or Freudian and all those things.
Right.
That doesn't relate to us. Then you have what we prefer. Your behavior is reacting to your thoughts, and vice versa.
Right.
To behavioral. So you also want to look at what type of therapy do I want, or better yet, what type of therapy do I need. So if you're interviewing a counselor, therapist, or psychologist, what's their style? I came from a short and sweet style of solution focus. What's the problem? Here are options. And if they're satisfied, they come back. If they're not satisfied, they don't come back. It's happened.
Right.
And it's okay. I'd rather you go on to where you're going to get help than me as a counselor hold you up, impede progress, and make things worse. Like your friend Jay, where he's like, counselors are not in my book. Right. Not in my repertoire. Leave me alone.
Right. Right. So then it's almost like, well, what do you do? So here's my question. I had my first counseling session when I lost my late husband, and at first I was like, well, I don't think I need counseling because I think I can handle it. And I realized how much I couldn't handle when certain things would creep up. And that's when I said, wait a minute, I thought I had this down pat. I thought that this was okay. I thought that I could be able to get through this. And it's not that I couldn't get through it. It's just I needed to learn how to manage it. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
I appreciate what you're saying, because a lot of times, here's the thing. A lot of times with counseling, we'll be the first to say, oh, I got this. Or I don't need help. I can do this on my own. I'm going to make it by myself. And there's people that honestly thought that they could make it by themselves. And you know what ends up happening? They end up putting themselves in a situation worse off than where they were, because they relied on themselves
Absolutely.
so much that they didn't realize that they did not have the strength to really rely on themselves, if I'm making sense.
Absolutely. Yes. We put on this brave front because how we were raised, take care of yourself, handle it, buck up, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, get over it.
Right.
And when you can't get over it, you can't turn to your friend and say, you know what, I'm still bugging over that thing that happened last week. I'm still upset about it. Man, get over it. So you're not really, what's the word? You're not really invited to share your feelings, to really sit down and talk it out. So you carry that burden like a bag of rocks.
Right.
You can't carry it anymore. You're at your desk crying, and they're like, what's going on with her? It's been 6 months. Because she hasn't cried in 6 months.
Ooh.
Because you've been telling her to calm down.
And not to cry.
That's right.
And not to cry. What is an example of something that you had to, and I know you're definitely limited on what you can discuss in regard to privacy, but if you could give an example of a traumatic experience where someone ended up being in counseling longer than they thought, because they started off, because sometimes in counseling people will go in and become very rebellious. They'll become arrogant.
That is true.
They'll become arrogant, rebellious, like, I don't need you, I'm just here because. And then next thing you know it, everything starts coming out. What have you seen the arrogance and what's the word I'm looking for? The arrogance,
indignant, kind of like, I don't
there
need to
it
be here
is.
kind of behavior?
Right. And how does a counselor like encourage them, like, you need to be here, when they have that option to just walk out?
I never tell them that. I never tell them that, because anytime somebody tells me I need something, I'm already, on a defensive. That's just us as a human being. You need this. No, I don't. So I ask them honestly, what made you come today? It could be, well, I'm home all week and I'm just tired of being by myself. Okay.
Right.
Now we're already talking about you're feeling isolated. But if it goes into a level where I'm not comfortable, I'm honest with them and say, look, you're peeling back the onion. You're telling me so many things that I'm not professionally able to deal with. I think you should see this person.
Right.
If we've built a professional relationship where they trust what I'm saying, they're going to trust whoever I refer them to, and they're going to respect the fact that I'm not playing with their emotions, and I need to move them on to a different type of clinician, different type of person. Maybe you need medication. I didn't prescribe any medication. I'm not that good.
Okay.
But I honestly told them, this is where we need to part ways. Well, can I come back after you handle that? If you feel you need to come back, absolutely. But at this point, I'm doing you a disservice.
You're right. So I have somebody on the 8 Squad Rebel Radio page, and she said that she has felt that way. She said that she has lost 3 people back to back, and there's nothing wrong with counseling. Big shout out to you to be bold enough
God bless
to say that you have gotten counseling. Because that's not something that people even want to disclose. People don't want to say, I go to counseling or I get counseling for this, because of how they'll be looked at. It's almost like they'll be looked at and treated like they're a bug.
Yes.
Yep. And it's horrible.
Absolutely.
It's horrible. Let me tell you something. I don't see anything wrong with counseling. You have to do what's best for you. You have to do what is going to keep you in a place of peace. And sometimes it's going against the grain and doing the very thing that you don't want to do. And that means stepping out to get the help that you need, even if it means counseling. Now, here's the deal. There are some counselors that'll truly work with you. There are counselors that will work with you, even if you don't have the finances. There's a fee scale. They'll go, and if you don't have the insurance, get somebody to invest in you. Let me tell you something. If I need help with something, I'll say, listen, can you help a sister out? Because this is what my situation is. And if you really want that help, sometimes, Z, if I'm wrong, check me. You have got to put that pride aside. That pride will keep you
Absolutely.
stuck. That pride will keep you in a place of not getting past the very pain that you're trying to move away from. So
Yeah, you live in that. You live in that moment. Whatever moment you're feeling, whether you're angry or you're depressed or whatever it is,
it becomes a
because
cycle.
you're so prideful.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes, it does become cyclical.
Mm.
And it's hard because your friends who know you when you were quote unquote healthy, because we're
Right.
talking about mental health, they're looking at you saying, "I'm not going to go see Z today because she acting kind of funny." Because I can't tell you what's wrong because
Right.
you told me calm down.
Right. And so, and oof, isn't that something? Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I have my girlfriends that are that will tell you I have ways of like just shutting down. So when I'm in a certain place and I'm in a certain funk, I literally will be the first one to say, I need to pull away. I'll step back, and what I'm going to do is reevaluate me and what I need to change, or I'll journal. And what I'll do is, because I'm going to be honest with you, I can't talk to any and everybody. Period.
That's right.
I cannot.
That's right.
There's family members, as much as my family is there for me, that there's family members I cannot share certain things with, and it's no shade against them, but I have to do what's best for me. And because sometimes you don't want to hear the nagging in your ear, like, why are you still in this place? Why haven't you surpassed this? Why haven't you should be further along than where you are now? So-and-so's family or so-and-so's son or so-and-so's daughter is doing this. Why aren't you? And why is this? And who wants to hear that? That'll drive somebody nuts.
Exactly, and that's what turns people away from talking to their friends because, or their family particularly, because you're put against a measuring stick. You and your cousin the same age. Well,
Right.
They were at the same service. Why you can? And it's like, never mind. My feelings are being invalidated, and that's a big piece of what turns people away. Their feelings of being invalidated. My thoughts don't matter.
Ooh, my thoughts. That's good. Listen. When I say that's good, that's good. I want you to hear something. So this is what I want to read out to everybody. Healing emotional pain, how to recover when life crushes you. So here's a couple of things, Z, that was mentioned, right? One, how to support your healing process is to honor your pain is number one. Number two is to reach out. Number three is to take a break. Thank you, Jesus. I'm going to clap for that. Number four is to learn from it. We've got to learn from what it is that we're dealing with. And it says that, where's number 5 and number 6? I don't see number 5 and number 6 on here. So we can just deal with those. Take a break and learn from it. A lot of times people don't know how to take a break. I'm one of them. I'm one of those that cannot shut my brain off at night. Even in my sleep, my brain is just like working and thinking and plotting, and then I'm up all hours of the night, jotting stuff down. I sleep with a notebook and a pen. That's not healthy.
Wow.
That's not healthy.
Wow.
That's called insane.
But there's two parts of our brain, though, because if we're so emotional, we're not able to flip over to the intellectual side and go, okay, this is crazy. I need 8 hours of sleep.
Right.
We're saying, no, this is bothering me. I got to fix it. Hence the hamster wheel of us thinking, and we're going to bed 3 o'clock to wake up at 6 because we stay in that emotional stance.
Right. We stay in that emotional stance. And the thing is, we don't have to. You know what? I want to ask you a question. If there's somebody that's listening right now that doesn't know what to do, doesn't know which direction to turn to, what would you recommend or what would you say to them if this was your only opportunity to get a word out, to encourage them to get counseling knowing they don't want it? What would you pour into them right now?
I would say simply this. If you like the way you're feeling right now, don't do anything. But if you're uncomfortable with the way you're feeling, let's do something about it. Let's call somebody. Let's find counseling. You can find counseling from any genre, any language. But if you're feeling the way you're feeling and you like how you're feeling, don't do a thing about it. That's what I would say. Most people will say, crap, you called me out. I have to do something.
Right.
There's support groups, and that's very scary for people. But sometimes you can walk into a support group and not say a word and just listen that other people feel the same way you're feeling. They are normally free as well.
I've never seen, I don't hear people talk much. I'm lying. I have heard about support groups. Do support groups, do you think it puts people in a position where they feel like they're being put on the spot?
It depends. If you have a good facilitator and they're letting everyone speak and not speak, because you can sit there and say, I passed tonight. And I'm not talking about an AA support group. I'm talking about bereavement group, a new moms group. You can say, not tonight, I passed. I'm just here to just soak everything in. You can feel safe there. But if it's a matter of she comes 3 times and never speaks, I'm not coming. She's giving me dirty looks. You know, it's a matter of how the facilitator runs the group, and it's a matter of how comfortable you feel in a group environment. I can walk into a group and not say a peep. Or I may say, oh, I know Tiffany. I'm going to say something because I know her. Depends on your comfort zone. But if you don't like how you're feeling right now, this is the time to start looking for some support and some services, because it's not going to get better. You may have some better moments, but it's not going to get better. You're going to just continue to wallow in it. You're going to go back around in that circle again and again and again.
How can people break cycles?
You've got to change your behavior. You've got to do something different. And when I say your behavior, I'm not going to say, well, stop crying and it's over. But it's a matter of, what did you do today? Okay, let's try something different. You stayed in the house 8 hours. Maybe let's try staying in the house 6 hours. Go sit outside for 2 hours straight. You may see, the funniest thing that may lift your spirits, even for a moment. Let's do something different. Let's try something different.
Do you know what the funny part is? Some people do not know how to change their behavior even when they've tried. And it's because it's something that they've just been accustomed to doing. They've been used to doing it, and it's like, I've been doing it for this long, why bother? And so I like what you said. Sometimes we just have to be a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with this, guys. I want to tell everybody, sometimes be patient with yourself. I think sometimes we
yes.
Is that okay to say that, Z? To be patient with yourself?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I think sometimes people get so caught up in, well, if I go to counseling or if I'm trying to get something right, I got to do this like right now. If I need to get fixed, this fix needs to happen right now. And because I'm tired of being in this position, I want this to change right now. Not realizing that, just like with a counselor, everything is done in steps. Everything is done in steps. They're not just there to just soak up your time, because their time is valuable as well. I don't care how much money they're getting paid.
Right.
Their time is valuable. We have got to just be able to say, you know what? Let me be patient with me so that I can get to the next level of being healthy, and then finally become being made whole, because right now I'm broken. And I'm broken into pieces, and I don't know where to start to pick them up. So let me start somewhere by learning how to practice patience. We have somebody, hold on, let me read this real quick. We have Paul Douglas Cole says, I would say to people, you don't know what you don't know. What's the harm in trying? What are you afraid of pertaining to getting counseling? Well, it's not that people are afraid. I'm going to be honest with you, Paul, and then we have Z on here. She could answer that. And if I'm wrong, Z, by all means, I'm all open for cut me off and check me. I don't think that it's about people being afraid of getting the counseling. It's more of being afraid of facing who they are, who they know that they don't want to be, and trying to deal with the reality of how they even got there. A lot of people are go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. I was saying that I think part of it is dealing with it, and part of it is, I don't know what this outcome is going to look like. None of us like change. So if I'm going to walk into this room and sit across from this person, they're going to tell me how to change my behavior. Am I going to be a better person? Am I going to be worse? Am I going to end up in a hospital? So is fear with that, not only walking in, but what's the outcome? So that's a lot of what turns people away.
So it is a
fear. They come in for
fear.
that first session.
Okay.
They may not come back for the second.
So she is agreeing with you. She's saying that there can be a fear. that there can be a fear. And I didn't think of it as a fear. So, Paul, that's a great question, because I didn't look at it as they're actually afraid to go to counseling. I just figured like they just don't want to do it because of the process, or they just want to keep the counselor out of their business because they're actually showing their hand as to who they are. And they're showing themselves to someone the truth about who they are, versus people who have been around them all their life and don't know this side of that person.
Yes. Part of, you know, we always say that we always have our representative. We go to work, we act one way. Well, at least we should.
Right.
You know, we're around family, we act another way. We're with our partner. So you have all these representatives.
Right.
You're walking into a room to talk about a problem. So I need to paint myself in a certain way. Either I'm the victim or I shouldn't be here. So you're still walking in and you're like, I have to do this, but I don't know how to do this. And what if, you know what? Oh, goodness. What if she sees me in my church? Oh, no. What if she sees me at Target? How do I behave? All these fears slow people down from going in. So they may link with a person that they have nothing in common with. I'm going to go, I live in Jersey, I'm going to go to New York. Okay, first of all, you're already putting blocks in the way of going. You're making it harder on yourself. You know, it's too far, I'm not going to go. So there's so much little pieces of just attending a counseling session. Mm-hmm. I applaud all those that attend. I applaud those that are doing that. We'll go ahead and take yes. And hugs. And gentle hugs. Absolutely.
Yes. And hugs. Because listen, it's not, weak people don't go to counseling. Strong people do. It takes strength to go to counseling. It really does. It takes a whole lot of strength to get up and say, I am going to counseling. That takes a whole lot of strength. And so I am really grateful that you called in. Big shout out to Z. Yes.
Thanks for having me call in. I'm still doing a little bit of it now, but I'm just checking in on kids and making sure they're safe. So it's not as much counseling as I used to do.
But still, you're still doing a great job. You provided some great tips for everybody that's listening. And I'm hoping that when they go back to watch this video, that they'll say, you know what? I'll look at counseling from a different perspective, all because of everything that you just shared. Thank you so much for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And God bless. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Big shout out to her. Big shout out to her. And so what we're going to do real quick, y'all, it's almost time for the giveaway. I'm going to take one quick break. I can't believe it's already, it don't make no sense that it's already 7:45. Good God. So can you believe it's 7:45? That went by too fast. Yeah. So is it okay if I do one song or a half a song? I'm going to do one song, guys, take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and do the giveaway. I'm pulling out the names, and it is going to be a wrap. So stay tuned.
8 Squad Rebel Radio.
The most talked about internet radio station in the Lion.
You will see that I know. I would hold you, squeeze you, love you, baby. Yeah. There will never be another before you, baby. Whatever. Let me turn you. Yeah. If I had you, just imagine comes rain, just give me a call, and I'll bring the sunshine back your way. 'Cause I'm waiting for you, baby. Yes, I need you. Come to me, yeah. If I had you, I'll do so much for you.
What's going on, everybody? Oh man, that was a dope time right there. Did y'all have a good time listening to Zuzu? Oh, don't do it, Zay. He was about to play that X Factor. Listen, to me, X Factor is the best song that Lauryn Hill has ever done in her entire life, which is why everybody right now is trying to get on that X Factor song. Everybody has jumped on it. Everybody all of a sudden is taking her lyrics. Well, what is it? I think I heard that she didn't, that those aren't, that that she gave up the rights to her song. I can't remember. It doesn't even matter. Whenever I hear anything by Lauryn Hill, I don't care who takes what. It's Lauryn Hill stuff. So anyway, I got something. You guys ready for the Mother's Day giveaway? Who's ready? Hey! All right. So I have two people. Check this out. Two beautiful women that are going to win. And so check this out. You ready? Words cannot explain who my mother is. Because here's the deal. I asked earlier, you guys know I do surprise stuff. I'm so random with everything. So I went on and said I'm doing a surprise giveaway. If you are a mother or if you want to enter in for your own mother, go ahead. And so we'll be sending out some very sweet things this weekend. Okay, so this person says, words cannot explain who my mother is. She is such an inspiration, motivational, and purposely made woman of God. She is the true definition of a phenomenal woman. Without hesitation, she will give you the shirt off of her back and full of love. Big shout out to Erica Mergerson. Yes! I love giveaways. So if you guys know Erica Mergerson, I am not sure who Erica Mergerson is, and that's a blessing. If you guys know who she is, let her know she is part one of the Mother's Day giveaway. Now, this one here, my mother was a single mother for 14 years, and she has always put my sister and I first. There are many days she is super tired, but she always makes sure that we have what we need. My sister and I are both graduating from high school this year and will be leaving home. I'm going to really miss her, but know that she will miss us too. I wish I could give her more, but my little job won't do much. My mother not only gives to us, but always gives to everyone else. She is a dressmaker. I wonder if this person knows who that's on right now. I wonder if they know that this is about them. Now, where is it? I really would have added. I wish I could give her more, but my little job won't do much. My mother not only gives to us, but always to everyone else. She is a dressmaker. In addition to working a full-time job, she always makes sure she doesn't miss any of our events. I love my mom and hope she wins the giveaway. Well, guess what? Heaven Blocker, you could call your mother and tell her that she did. Yes, Robin, your baby girl submitted. Your baby girl, Robin, submitted and put you in for the Mother's Day giveaway. So, Robin, you tell Heaven how blessed she is. See, that's why her name was Heaven. How about that? Big shout out to Erica and to Heaven and Robin. I need you guys to make sure that you inbox me your address so I could go ahead and get some things to you. Oh, Mother's Day rocks. I want to give a big shout out to my own mother, who's my ride or die. And no lie, the one who lets me cry on her shoulder, the one who we fight like cats and dogs when we need to. But I'll tell you this much, our love literally surpasses every fight that we've ever had. My mom is my rock. My mom has been there for me in ways that I cannot imagine. I would never trade my mother in for anything. So my mother, Rose Dunn, I want to wish her a happy Mother's Day. I got a special thing for my mom going on tomorrow, and it's all about her. I said, you know what? I'm taking off of work, and what I'm going to do is make my mother matter. My mother makes me matter when I can't even tell you. My mother does every day. Every single day, my mother makes me matter. And I am determined to make her feel like she is on cloud nine. I'm going to make her feel like she's the queen that she is. First thing tomorrow, it's her day. Tomorrow is her day. So, yes, my aunt just said, I love my Rosie Pooh. Yes, you know she's something. That little Rosie is a handful, but she's the best handful I could have ever held and ever had, and that's the truth. Hi, Lauren. Good to see you. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's Making Me Matter. If you would be so kind, share the video that you see with the studio from the 8 Squad Rebel radio page. Let people know that the Making Me Matter radio show was on the air. We are on every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, my partner and co-host is going to be here, and I'm so excited. Listen, Father's Day giveaway is coming up, so you guys might want to get yourself together for that. We'll be making an announcement about that next week, and I am excited. It is 7:55. That's my cue to be Izzy. Get out this door. Get ready for the next show. Big shout out to the owner of this station, my buddy, my brother, Big Zay. He is just incredible, works so hard. Love him to pieces. So hopefully I will see you guys next Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tell a friend, text a friend, send a smoke signal. Make sure you guys follow the Making Me Matter radio show page. And if you haven't done so already, visit the website. We have some things out there that you guys want to check out. We keep it updated and so forth. We have a VIP section, a birthday section. Make sure you guys go to the www.makingmematter.com. PT, give your mother my love. Tell her I said happy Mother's Day. I saw that you just jumped on. All right, y'all. I'm out. See you next week.
8 Squad Rebel Radio.
The most talked about internet radio station in the land.
All right.